Okay, it's time for a review. Let's get on with it. Going to review Tetris DS. Great game. Basically perfect. Tetris has always been perfect. It's a very good game to have on something like a Game Boy, a DS, handheld console, because it's one of those games that's simple yet engrossing. Very, very simple yet very engrossing. Basically, the fact that you have these machines means that you can take them places, so if you're travelling or whatever, you haven't got room for much space. What you want from a game is something that you can take. It's very, very simple yet very engrossing. Tetris has that in spades. I'm sure everyone knows the premise of the game. If you don't, well, sorry, look it up. But anyway, here we have Tetris DS. It is Nintendo's new version of Tetris, all singing, all dancing, all DS. And here we go, let's have a look at this. All dancing, oh boy. Let's have a look anyway. Basically, when I say it's the new DS, the new Tetris from Nintendo, and it's the latest, and you know, being the newest version from Nintendo, they've well, I'd say, as you'd imagine, they didn't have to, but what they've done is they've gone and put Tetris, and they've basically put lots of new modes, lots of different new twists and tricks in it, and basically made it so it's like, you know, this is Tetris, this is our new Tetris, and this is on the DS. So let's have a look at it. There's lots. Basically, what you've got is you've got standard mode, which is Tetris as we all remember, and a couple of other twists on top. Push mode, which is a new mode, game mode. I won't explain it because with these reviews, especially with myself, as I don't actually plan too much in advance what I'm going to say, time's a factor, and the fact is that if I start to talk about a game mode, it's only a small part of the game that a mode that I don't particularly care for, then it's going to take time from the majority of the review, which I can use for the majority of the game, which is good content. Push mode you've got, which, as I say, isn't very good. It's a different variation on Tetris, where you basically try and push your opponent's blocks down, but it's not very good. You have touch mode. Use the stylus, move the blocks, which go up the screen higher than you can see, like a tower. Move them around with the stylus, make them fall into different places, and get rid of everything that way. That's a new mode, and that mode is definitely worth doing. Puzzle mode, where you get blocks on the screen already, and you can pick from 3 different blocks which are given to you preset, and of course once you pick one of those preset blocks, you then let it fall down. I'll show you this in action, actually. Right, push mode, as I say, not worth it. Not worth going into detail about. Touch, maybe look at that later. Puzzle, right, now we all know Tetris. Basically, all of those squares are puzzles, and that was down to roughly 50, and they go all the way down to 100 and 200 even. There's 200 puzzles. And what you get is you've basically got really like 2 puzzle games in one, really, when you think about it here, because what happens is with this puzzle mode of Tetris, what happens is, now on the top screen you can see the shapes are already there. On the bottom screen you can pick between 3 shapes. Pick a shape and pick how you want that shape to fall down into your shapes on the screen above, like so. Obviously then I can pick that one in any way I want to fall down, then that one, and then you have to try and get it so the shapes fall down in the right order that you've picked them, so you clear all of the blocks at the top. Do so, move on to the next puzzle. That is puzzle mode in a nutshell. Let's go back to this. Let's get out of this then now, because that is it in a nutshell. Let's see. B. Right, standard mode. Right, marathon. Just like the Tetris, remember it. The blocks fall down, you make the lines disappear, the blocks fall faster after you clear the levels. A friend of mine, says that this game is he was disappointed because the original Tetris would go on forever theoretically on the Game Boy, and this one apparently only has 20 levels. I'm not that good to get that far, well, this is a bloke I know who at the pub he says this, but I mean, you get the impression this guy's like hardcore Tetris. I was like, a big deal, you know, there's enough here for me and this works well enough for me. However, if that sounds like something that would put you off getting the game, I thought it was worth mentioning, it's the only other outside comment I've heard on it, then bear that in mind. Let's have a look at marathon mode. Now, pressing the wrong button. Standard, marathon. There are other modes within standard mode, as you can see, apart from marathon, what I'm about to do now. But here we go. Obviously, we all know how this works, the blocks fall out. However, listen to the music. That's right, classic Nintendo tunes. Bopping away there. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? You know? Anyway, there we go with that. Now what you've also got is line clear. Yeah, like Game B on the original Game Boy cartridge, i.e. clear the lines, clear a preset amount of lines in on a preset speed with blocks already on the screen if you choose. Versus computer, if you don't have Wi-Fi or people to play against, you can play against the computer. Once you clear the blocks from your screen, the computer gets them, and if the computer gets rid of its blocks, they come on your screen. Right then, touch we've already gone into, puzzle we've seen, catch, as I say, isn't worth talking about. Actually no, catch like push isn't really worth going into. I think it's another mode that isn't very good. Basically, you capture roughly, I haven't played this mode in a long time because I don't like it, but roughly blocks fall down, you capture them, you make a certain type of shape, Metroid that the aliens come down the screen, and you blow them up with the shape you've made, and it's not very good in my opinion, but hey, you might like it. So finally, let's have a look at mission mode. I'll press the right button. Time trial within mission mode. Complete a set number of missions as fast as you can to get the fastest time. Watch out, each mission is harder than the last. Well, that's what the Game Boy blurb on the actual mission mode says. And time trial within mission mode. Marathon within mission mode. Complete as many missions as you can and set a new high score. Each mission will have a set time limit, and if you don't finish your mission before the time expires, new blocks will appear on your screen. Don't let the blocks build up to the top or your game is over. Right, basically this is mission mode. Use a square to clear 2 lines at once. So basically there's the square. Now what I'm doing now is I've pressed L1. You can actually store a shape and bring it back later on. You can't bring it back up to the top to store again though, once you've pressed L1 again to return it. It'll swap the shape you've got. I'll show you this. See, there is that shape going down, but pressing L1 again, there's my square again. Now obviously I need to try and get a square and get rid of 2 lines at once, which I probably haven't set myself up very well to do with what I've just done with my shapes there. But that is mission mode. The time trial version of mission mode, very similar I believe. Yes it is, but with time constraints. Right, that's Tetris DS, and that is a review. That is it explained, and but as I say, it's a great game in general. It's a very good game to have. It's a very good example of a perfect game for a perfect type of console, i.e. a handheld console, in certain situations. Great game in general, but as I say, it's one of those ones you can have which will come in handy for those times where you just need something consistent that's a time killer. Loads of modes. If you're a puzzle fan, this is a top-notch, top-draw puzzle game. So fantastic. Pick it up if it sounds like your kind of thing. Peace out.